Are your kids here? You mind if you step in?
This is the exact moment Larissa realized her horrifying secret was about to be revealed.
He's had custody of her, but she just had a little girl named Mia.
Okay.
And then I guess she's pregnant again.
Yeah.
They all have different daddies.
Okay. So the other three, the oldest three are, well, the 16-year-old, the 19-year-old.
Angel.
They're with their
family.
Fathers.
Angel
families.
is with his daddy. Gilbert is with his grandmother.
And then Nevaeh is with
Dad.
Christopher Upton.
Yes.
Okay. And then the other 5 are in custody
Yes.
of children's
Well,
services.
4 because.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And she is pregnant again. Is that from Christopher?
I'm pretty sure.
She was receiving child support payments and $750 a month in supplemental security income for her 5-year-old son, Jordan.
She used to use a website called mocospace.com. She had an app on her phone.
Is it MOCO?
Yeah.
MOCO space?
Yeah, it's basically MySpace. A big percentage of the popularity on that is Hispanic guys and women. But you'll have your here and there other races. But yeah, it's a big Hispanic thing.
Like a hookup site?
Pretty much. That's what she explained it as. It's for Hispanic people. It's like a MySpace for Hispanics.
Gotcha. And that's how she met this guy?
Yeah. That's how she met Chris too. Was Facebook with him.
Okay.
That's what I was told.
The chaotic mess of her family quickly became the highlight of this case. Christopher had been home for the majority of the time when Jordan was abused, and after that he was arrested on separate incidents. Police arrived at Larissa Rodriguez's residence on West 80th Street in Cleveland to investigate the disturbing claim, unaware that her boyfriend's brother, Scott R. Rodriguez, had tipped off the authorities that something heinous had happened to her child. She continued to act as if nothing had happened.
How many kids do you have?
I have 9 altogether.
Okay.
But I have some that don't live with me. But these are the ones that do live with me.
Okay.
Everything was seemingly off from the beginning. Why didn't all the children live with Larissa? The more she spoke, the more detectives began to worry.
Do you have a child with special needs?
Oh, Jordan? Yes, I do.
How old is Jordan?
Jordan, he is just turned 5.
Where's Jordan at?
He's with his dad. He's gonna be visiting for the holiday. He's not here with us right now, for the holiday.
Where's Dad at?
In Texas. He's not even here.
The calmness in Larissa's voice couldn't mask the chilling tension. The investigators knew they were on the brink of discovering a dark, hidden truth.
She just stopped cleaning the house. The kids were always dirty. I always had to give them baths, feed them. She only fed certain kids more than the others.
This grim backdrop added to the urgency of the investigation, suggesting that there was more to Jordan's disappearance than Larissa was willing to disclose. 5-year-old Jordan with developmental disabilities who couldn't speak had supposedly been away, missing for about 3 months now. Detectives swarmed Larissa's house of horrors, desperately searching for answers. They already had a hunch. They just needed to verify if Larissa was secretly a monster. FBI and medical examiner investigators spent about 3 hours digging in the backyard of Larissa Rodriguez's home. And there was Jordan. His little body, that had been decomposing for 3 months now, was buried in garbage bags, deep in the very backyard he played in.
Around there, yes. I can't remember exactly day because...
Why did he have a sock in his mouth?
I don't know.
Did he say something he wasn't supposed to?
That boy don't speak. When I lived there, he didn't speak. All he did... he had a habit of taking off his diaper and kind of doing gross stuff with it, like on a wall or whatever. But how does he know any better if you don't show him any better, right? And if you leave him locked up in this room all day and not around his siblings, how is he going to know any better? Okay?
Many people, including Larissa's son, had told detectives that Larissa would leave Jordan for hours in the closet, sometimes nearing fatality due to neglect.
Which brother was bad?
Boo-boo.
So if he was bad, then who had to sit in the closet?
Boo-boo.
He did? For how long?
10 minutes.
For 10 minutes?
Did Jordan ever sit in there? Yeah? Just when he was bad? Did they ever close the door or leave it open?
They closed it.
Was it dark in there? Yeah? What, is he scared? Yeah, would you hear him crying? Did you ever have to sit in there? That's good.
I had to stop her several times for hitting Jordan. Several times I told her, stop. There was a point she pulled a knife out on me due to it. Nevaeh, I was happy.
That's why she's mad at me. Because I won't let her do what the hell she's doing to them kids. When I was told the day that I moved out of her home by Karen Custer that she beat that baby with a bat.
Karen Custard?
Yes. The day that I moved out.
Okay. Beat the baby with what?
With a bat.
A bat?
Yes. Her friend Cindy told me yesterday that she went over to the house. This man was beating Jordan with the belt so bad that she got in the middle of it and he was about to beat her up.
All right, who said this?
Cindy.
Cindy?
When Larissa realized all the blame was coming to her, she tried to split and divert the blame towards Chris. She claimed he was the abusive one and she was the victim here.
You know, no matter how bad my little ones can act up, I never had that in me to hit my kids. But I think I was just so scared because I used to get my ass beat by Chris just because I defended my kids. My oldest son can tell you, my older son had to pull a knife on him because he put his hands on me the way he did.
How long were you and Chris together?
About 2 years.
Okay. And he was living with you from day one?
Yeah.
Our understanding is that you were dating someone else who moved out and you met Chris online?
I was with Jake.
Okay.
But Jake wasn't in the house for more than 2 weeks.
Right.
Since when
and he
I
left
first
and then
moved
Chris
in.
came in?
Right.
And you met him online?
Yes.
Larissa also does not miss the opportunity to point out that her only intent was to help Jordan and how she did try to help him.
How does he discipline Jordan?
It was just different. I mean, as far as, you know how you said the sock in the mouth, none of my kids got the sock in the mouth, only Jordan. And I used to sit there and tell him, don't do that. You know, I used to get yelled at. My kids all can tell you I defended all my kids. And that's where a lot of me and his arguments came in because I did defend my kids.
But the truth was far worse.
I walked in and she was trying to potty train Jordan. And she was calling him a retard. What else? She made fun of the size of his head. He had a lazy eye. She would call him cross-eyed. She would tell him she would want to smack him in the face because he looks like his dad. But when I walked in that door, she shoved a goddamn sock in the kid's mouth and shoved him in the corner because he was crying because she hit him and put him in the corner. And that just turned into a complete argument right there. She threw me out. I called 696 Kids. I ended up going back again because I was scared.
As the details emerged, the reality of Jordan's suffering became undeniable. He was trapped in a home where he was treated as less than human by the very person who was supposed to protect him. Throughout the interrogation, Larissa's emotions seemed to shift between fake sorrow, fake fear, and hidden anger.
Because every time after this happened, I just hated him. I hated everything. I just couldn't stand to be around him.
Did you ever ask him to leave?
I did. And he told me that if I was to call the cops, that he had the gas in his name, that they would tell me that he resides there, that he can't leave. So I just felt like I was trapped. And I even told him, this is my house. You have to go. But then he always threw up. Well, if he leaves, he's calling the cops and he's blaming everything on me. Which I didn't hurt Jordan. I take the fault for not taking him to the doctor. Yes, that was my fault. And my other fault was doing
Tissues, Ray. Bring tissues, Ray.
was given the idea to do that. But I didn't hurt Jordan.
I know.
It's not in my heart to hurt Jordan.
She kept trying to blame others while pretending to love her children and regretting not protecting them better.
Just self-defending myself because he went and literally choked me, put me in the kitchen, slammed me against stuff, had a knife in his hand. I found something, I don't know whether it was a screwdriver or something. I just grabbed something and just got him
Called
right
the police
in the
out to the house. Somebody called.
No, nobody.
Right.
Nobody. And that's what gets me is that street is so highly protected by police that why didn't somebody? I mean, I even tried to jump out the window, trying to get some help from somebody. I feel like I couldn't even leave my house. And then when I sat there screamed, he put a sock in my mouth. So I couldn't. And then was sitting there screaming, like I'm screaming, and he's sitting there choking me.
While the reality was that Larissa was an evil, narcissistic, and manipulative person to begin with. Her words felt insincere, showing a more evil side as she tried to avoid taking full responsibility for her actions and the pain her children went through.
And I admit in my past, that's part of one of my counseling. I've had bad relationships, and it's a pattern.
Yeah.
It's a pattern, and that was something me and my counselor was working on. And this just happened to be another one that just...
Well, he might have been the worst one.
Yeah. I think it was.
You do know we're going to go talk to Chris. Have you talked to him at all during this time?
No.
Talked to him before you were put in jail?
I talked to him. It was the same day you guys all came. I mean, not you guys, but when they came to the house, and to me, it just seemed like he didn't care.
What did you tell him?
I told him
He was in jail at the time.
Yes, he called me about 6 o'clock that evening because that's when he got supposedly off of work from in the work or whatever he did in the kitchen, and he's like, "What's going on?" I guess because the detectives went to talk to him, and when they went to talk to him, I guess they were asking him questions. He didn't specifically go into. He just wanted to know more about what happened on my side.
What you said.
Right. So when I sat there and I told him, and he was just like, he didn't seem like I was. Like I was scared. I was nervous. I'm, shaking and spooked, and he just seemed so calm. And
Did he tell you what to say, what you should say, what you shouldn't say?
No. That's why when you guys came and say now he changed up his story to something about December 2nd, that's because he heard me say it over the phone. He didn't know anything about what I told the police. But
so when we confront him with Jordan's injuries, is he going to tell us otherwise, that you're the one who did it?
A woman can't do it hit that much harder. And you know what? Anybody can tell you that. And I say that.
That's not true.
I mean, he's a lot stronger than I am. And me personally, you can even ask my older son. My older son will tell you. No, Angel.
Angel?
My oldest son will be the one to, if anything, between my oldest son and my oldest daughter.
Do you know how we would get a hold of Angel? I mean, do you know that number? Does he live on Wade Avenue with his dad? Or do they live someplace else in the first state?
His dad moved. I could try to get my little sister to contact Angel.
Okay.
Yeah.
The tension is building. She's nervous, but trying to hold it together. The detectives press on, and the calmness of the man she's talking about doesn't sit right. It feels like the truth is slipping through her fingers, and soon it will all come crashing down.
He was close to Mariana as well. Mariana knows everything. Like, I understand it's hard on that little girl, but she's seen so much. She knows, she would know more than all of me and the sisters. Mariana would.
Would she talk with me if I attempted to speak with her?
She might. She's a really smart girl.
Is she going to be thankful that she's out of that environment, or is she going to be freaking out, missing her mother?
She's probably going to miss her mom, but in another way, she's probably going to be thankful.
Okay.
She never really had good guidance. She had an issue with bathing when I was there. But that's because her mom never taught her anything, you know? The little girl just lived, you know? That's how everybody in the house was. It was you live. And, you know, I thought it got better after I left. I honestly thought the house got better.
I don't think so.
I don't think so neither.
Came to hospital for that fracture. Like,
But a rib fracture? You
But
don't see that.
but see, I wish I would. You know, it was just like Jordan trying to tell me something. When I told you that when he finally took his last breath, it was like he was mad. You know, like I seen in his face like he just wanted to tell me something. But I just didn't know what that something was. And with him being speechless, I mean, I couldn't understand what it was. But I could tell it was just something so mad, you know, like angry. And I thought he, you know, like he was trying to cuss me out or something. But I took it as he was just trying to tell me, Mom, I love you, I gotta go, you know? But in my heart, something told me that he had something to do with this. Because every time after this happened, I just hated him. I hated everything. I just couldn't stand to be around him.
But
Did you ever see her discipline Jordan in a way that you felt like was just
Yes.
completely wrong?
Yeah.
Apart from the incident where she put the sock in his mouth?
yeah, she there was a couple times I walked in the house, that poor boy sitting there with you know, I fold the socks and it's thick at the one end. She shoved that in his mouth. I would walk in the house, pull it out. What the f*** are you doing? You know. And, Mariana knows he got hit, beat. He was close to Mariana.
Her story about Jordan's last moments reveals a chilling truth. Her own guilt hidden behind fake emotions. His angry eyes, his final breath. She tries to cover up the secrets she can't escape. The bench trial of Larissa and Christopher Rodriguez was an intense event. Family friend and attorney Maria Cruz stood to speak on behalf of Jordan's extended family. She explained how the family loved Jordan deeply and had tried to help him and his siblings. Unfortunately, Larissa and Christopher blocked their efforts. Despite the alarming reports and repeated attempts to reach out for help, Larissa Rodriguez managed to evade serious scrutiny. Each time authorities were called, it seemed that the children's fears and Marissa's concerns were dismissed and overshadowed. Maria shared a special memory of Jordan staying overnight with the family. Despite being nonverbal, Jordan communicated with them and shared a meal while sitting on his Uncle Jose's lap. He showed his love by running to his uncle when he came home from work. Jordan was a sweet little boy who deserved so much more. While they still loved Larissa because she was family, they could not accept what she had done. The prosecutor then presented the case against Larissa and Christopher. Jordan was born prematurely on November 5, 2012, with many health problems. Despite his challenges, the school district tried to help him with an individualized education plan because of his developmental delays and nonverbal condition. However, Larissa withdrew from school on September 13, 2016, claiming they were moving out of state. Jordan's last medical care was recorded in November 2015. When questioned about her son, Larissa repeatedly said he was out of town. Finally, when confronted with the possibility that he was buried in her backyard, she admitted what had happened. On September 21st, Christopher brought Jordan to Larissa in a semi-conscious state. She tried to revive him with a cold shower and then laid him in bed for 24 hours, stating she wanted to be close to him. The next morning, Jordan was dead. Instead of calling 911, Larissa and Christopher dug a hole, wrapped Jordan in blankets, garbage bags, and a duffel bag, and buried him in the backyard. Photos were presented as evidence, showing the time and effort they took to bury Jordan rather than seeking help. During further questioning, Larissa claimed she suffered abuse at the hands of Christopher, which extended to her children, but she provided no details. If it weren't for Scott Rodriguez, who called the police from Pakistan on December 19, 2017, Jordan might still be buried in that backyard. The autopsy revealed healing fractures on Jordan's ribs and wrists, consistent with child abuse. Larissa also faced charges related to food stamp fraud. This case was so horrifying that even the judge struggled to hold back tears while addressing the court.
What we do every day is so hard. People don't give any of us the credit that we deserve for dealing with the horrors that are brought before us. And Mr. Rodriguez, this is a horror. I know as a judge I'm not supposed to show emotion. And in 22 years, I never have. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
The court imposed a sentence on Larissa Rodriguez for involuntary manslaughter, 11 years in prison; for felonious assault, 8 years in prison; for another count of felonious assault, 6 years in prison; and for abuse of a corpse, 9 months in prison. She would be in jail for a total of 25 years. Her boyfriend, Christopher Rodriguez, was sentenced to 28 years in prison for his role in the boy's death and backyard burial. The sentences would run concurrently with the previous sentence imposed.
What's the location of your emergency?
Yes, my son is unresponsive right now. He got something coming out of his mouth.
What do you think is coming out?
I'm not sure what it is. I know he likes to eat his own poop and lay in his own pee all day.
This is Al-Mutahan, a monster who tortured, raped, and killed his Takota Collins.
You can't get him to eat his breakfast. He don't want to eat his breakfast. All you want to do is eat his feces, so...
And he explains the torture and the injuries by saying the most absurd things.
He had a chair like this.
Right.
You take the back off. That's going to sit flat on the ground.
Okay.
And I seen him going like this. You hear me? I wasn't telling it. I wasn't able to.
So he's putting the chair leg in.
Yep.
That's what you're saying he's doing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I wasn't able to tell if that's what he was doing or if he was just taking another. Because every night he'll get up and do stuff like this. And just, slam it and scream. Ah!
But sadly, these clips do not come close to explaining the torment this poor went through. The medical examiners who conducted the autopsy on the child said this was the worst case of abuse they had seen in their careers. On December 16, 2019, the family was supposed to celebrate Takota's 11th birthday, but tragically this was a day he would never see. Instead, on December 13th, Al made a 911 call that left everyone's blood boiling.
What do you think is coming out?
I'm not sure what it is.
Can you clean that out of his mouth a little bit? Take your fingers and clean it out of his mouth, just so he doesn't choke on anything?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, just mental behavior. See, he just hurts himself all the time.
Okay.
He wake up, don't get his way, slam his head, eat his
All right, I understand. Okay.
It never ends.
Okay, are you cleaning whatever you can out of his mouth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you think he could have taken anything, or you have no idea?
I know he likes to eat his own poop and lay in his own pee all day.
Okay.
He won't stop at no cost.
Okay, so if he's breathing, let him breathe. We're going to go ahead and start CPR, okay? So keep him laying where he is, okay?
Okay.
We want you to tell us, because we weren't there, what happened today.
Well, this is what happened. I ain't slept in about 3 days, right? The kid keep falling down the stairs, keep knocking his head around. It looked like something was wrong with his stomach last night that I noticed. And I gave him some water to throw up. You know what I mean? I had him drink like several cups of water because it looked very odd normal. And I know that he used to eat his own shit. So I just wanted to make sure that he was okay. So he drank the water. That was it. And I guess he goes back upstairs and acting out some more. I mean, jumping off the banister, everywhere, everywhere, the usual, might I add. I've been dealing with this for probably since he was 2 years old, he's been doing this. Yeah. And so I'm very tired. I ain't slept in 3 days, so I'm just sitting there. And here he come rolling down the stairs again, ba-doom, ba-doom. So I told him to go back upstairs. A little while later, I go up there. I see a stick in his ass, like a chair leg. So I asked him, what is he doing? And he's just steady, you know what I mean? Just steady doing what he do. This ain't the first time he tried something like that. So I see blood on the ground, and I asked him to pull it out. You know what I mean? Blood squirted immediately. Now I'm freaking out. I'm like, hurry up. You need to get downstairs so I can get you in the shower. You know what I mean? And see what's going on. So at the time, I didn't think nothing of it. I just see that he bruised up as usual. Seeing he never stopped. They would find any way, any type of way, anything to use just to put a bruise on his body. Like he would come down, I would invite him to watch TV. And he's my son, he was handsome, he looked just like me. You know what I mean? And I would invite him to sit down, watch TV, and this, that, and the third. And he would just, and I mean, the smell was so loud, I can go up there and clean it every day. And 5 years from now, you'll probably smell it. So if it was the fumes, I don't know what it was. I mean, I did everything in my power. That bucket that was upstairs, I used to put soap and water in it and have him clean it up. Clean the floor up, clean your walls, clean it up. Like, it's just unbearable. I'm downstairs on the couch. I can't even sleep because the smell is so strong. Yeah. I mean, outrageous. And he getting put in the shower every day on a regular, you know what I mean? But regardless, it'd be like you never put a drop of water or soap on him. It's very shocking right now, the fact that he did. I mean it. I never thought that he would end up dead. I figured if he eat his own poop, I even Googled it, like, will it hurt you? And they was like, nah, you know, to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Just to see, because, I mean, I was to the point where, what am I supposed to do? Call the police and be like, oh, my son is over here eating today?
Did you ever take him to the doctor?
Yeah, he's been to the doctor.
He has?
Yep.
What's the doctor?
It's been so long, I don't even know. I just know it's probably like, well, my health insurance ran out. Probably close to 3 years ago.
So the kid hasn't seen a doctor in 3 years?
Yeah, but he been to the hospital in less than that.
When
so
was
he
he at the hospital?
probably like a year ago when he jumped out the window.
Baby children?
Yeah, he always been very healthy.
Okay, and what's the custody situation with you guys?
He has full custody. Our custody agreement is that he's supposed to bring him back to the state 4 times a year. I'm supposed to have phone conversations with him once a week, talk to his schooling, and talk to his doctors. He has not abided by the court order in 4 years. I did not know where he was living because he was supposed to be living in Erie, Pennsylvania. Thank God that he caught a drunk driving in Dayton, Ohio, and now I have his address. I've been trying to work with him to talk to my son, and he gave me a bunch of things that are very concerning. He locked him in his room. He tried to jump out a window. He sent him to school in a diaper. He pulled him out of school. He whipped him with a belt. Just a bunch of stuff that's very concerning to me.
She had done her utmost to save her, but Mutahan did not let Robin take Takota.
Part of like a stool or something? What was going on with that?
He would make him sit on it with his legs wide open, and then he made him lay in the bed, and he was laying on his side, and then he was at the back of him. I don't know what he was doing at there, I couldn't see. And then And then he threw him back off the bed, drug him a little bit, and then I know it was going on for 30 years. I should have done something. Doing much paying attention to what was going on.
What was Dakota doing? Was he crying, screaming?
Not at first. Well, at first he was, but when it was over, he was quiet.
Jennifer staying silent throughout Takota's torment is not justified, but at least one of them feels enough remorse to come out and share the true story. But that is not the case with Mutahan.
Put my hands on him, it was to keep him from hurting himself. And I mean, as far as I wouldn't beat him with anything, I would just grab him and like, hey, enough's enough, like arms behind your back, like the police do, you know what I mean?
Didn't see any injuries or anything?
Nothing too heavy. I mean, I see his butt swollen and his legs and his arms and all that, but I see that every day.
Okay.
It's not a day where he is not gonna add another one.
Okay.
And here's the thing, as a parent, I'm afraid, I was concerned, like, damn, if I take him anywhere, they're going to be looking at me like I did this. You know what I mean? So at the same time, I was trying to just get him together so where he didn't have any bruises, and then I can take him somewhere and see about possibly more therapy or something like that.
So you know he needed some sort of treatment?
It started to hit me at the last phases, like his last week. It came downstairs. And like I said, showered him up. He went back upstairs, told him to eat his breakfast. He didn't eat it. He just laid on his bed and he didn't eat it. So I'm like, I'll just wait a while. I'm like, eventually he'll get hungry, he'll eat. He always eat. He beg for food. He's never he want more and more. It depends on what it is. You know what I mean? I'm like, he has some more, he has some more, some more. Sure, you get some more.
About 20 hours later, or?
Not even 20 hours later. We're talking maybe 3 hours later.
Okay.
So I'm just sitting there like, you know, I'm going to check on his body again, a couple hours, you know, give some time to cool off and check on it. So, no, not much. So but he's still moving. His eyes is looking at me. He's doing his normal thing.
His eyes are looking at you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the normal thing?
You know, just the freak out that I was telling you about, you know, the freak show.
Okay.
When did he throw up?
Yeah.
Remember when I told you he pushed off his bed and I checked on him, I seen him throw up come out of his mouth?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you describe what you mean by plunging to me?
All right, so look. He had, a chair like this.
Right.
You take the back off, that's going to sit flat on the ground.
Okay.
And I seen him going like this, you hear me? I wasn't telling it. I wasn't able
So
to
he's
tell.
putting the chair leg into
Yeah.
That's what you're saying he's doing?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I wasn't able to tell if that's what he was doing or if he was just taking another. Because every night he'll get up and do stuff like this. And just, you know, slam it and scream, ah. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, what the f*** is going on? You know I gotta work. And you only do it on the days that I gotta work the most.
Where do you work?
If ever I did work. Whenever I can, I try to go to the temp service leg work, but I can't never work there that often because of the anxiety, stress. I mean, I'm trying to hold it together. But
So this morning at 6 a.m. you see him, and I'm using your words, plunging on this chair.
not quite sure. I seen close to it, and that's what it looked like to me. It just looked like.
Did you do this before?
Yeah, but usually with his fingers, and he tried a couple of toys one time. I told social services, I mean, they like, you can't stop him from being gay or you know what I mean?
So you think he's doing this because he's gay?
I'm not sure if he wanted to hurt his. I know he liked to hurt himself every day. It's a combination. I don't know.
And so then later on you said something about the tarp being up his butt?
The tarp being up his butt.
You said he pulled it out and he was squirting blood?
Yeah.
The tarp?
On the tarp. No, he pulled the stick out. Or whatever, the stool piece. He pulled it out of his. So I go up there. I'm like, get that out your. You know what I mean? Once the wrestle, I finally yank it out.
So you pulled it out of his butt.
Yup.
So how far in was it?
I can't say. That's the thing. I don't know.
You don't know.
Because I ripped it out so quick.
Okay.
Take your time.
Started beating on him, and then he threw him in the bathtub, and it sounded like he was drowning him. So he was talking to him and telling him he was going to drown him, and it sounded like that because all I heard was splashing because he wouldn't clean his shorts because he came down wet over this morning. And he took him back upstairs and threw him out. Then he made him lay on his stomach, hands behind the back, and he stepped on him.
Did you hear what Jennifer says about the bathtub? There is another detail which we have not shared with you yet, and Mutahan has a completely different memory of this.
So, obviously he drove you crazy.
I don't want to say that.
Well, I
I
he irritated you. He made you angry. You sit here and talk about how he stunk.
Yeah, I ain't slept in days, but I wouldn't say that. Yeah, at times he did drive me crazy. At times I did not know what I would do, but I would always try to stay level-headed and just see through another day.
But I'm sure there's times that you didn't. And we know you didn't. I mean, in all honesty, we have witnesses, obviously, that were there when you were doing this stuff to him. Yeah, all these marks that are not self-created.
Yeah, half of them are not. Some of them, like I said, I stank him at times.
Would you stank him with?
A spatula.
A spatula?
Yeah. It was flat. Yeah.
What is this here?
That's a rash. That's from his nastiness. Just a rash. Laying in his piss every day, ate his back up.
No, that's not.
That, I don't know what that is. I thought it was a rash. I've been seeing it for weeks. I actually thought it was a rash.
Maybe if you took him to the doctor, you would know.
What could I have done to cause that? What causes that? Drag him where?
Down the steps.
No, ma'am.
On the carpet.
No, ma'am. We don't have any carpet. I did not drag him. I mean that. We don't have no carpet. I didn't drag the boy.
You didn't see the tear in his butt then, in his anal area?
The tear?
Yeah.
The tear.
I seen it swollen, but I didn't.
Plain as day cut. Yep. A tear.
It's possible.
Did you have to hold him down in the bathtub? Was he fighting you to get out of the bathtub?
No. No, ma'am. Not at all.
So as nasty as he is,
James spanked him before. Amanda spanked him before. I mean, we all use the same thing. The spatula. It ain't never been nothing heavy. I just pop him on a couple times, whap, 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 get right. I mean, because he obviously just keep trying to hurt himself.
Get right before what? You started saying
See, that's the mind games. It's not before what? It's get right before you hurt yourself. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, before you endanger yourself.
Okay. When you spank him, what do you spank him with?
My hand.
Your hand? You don't use anything else?
Mm-hmm.
Just your hand?
Yeah. Okay. And that's rarely that because he was thinking so damn bad that if I touch him, that I'm going to smell for days. I'm telling you, never seen it. Besides the fact, when I did see it, I just thought it was a rash.
So all these marks are probably spatula marks? Is that what you're telling me? I mean,
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
Is that what killed him?
I would say the spatula marks did not. But possibly throwing him around or stepping on him or putting your knee on his chest or something along those lines.
Yeah, I did this morning, but it was only to keep him from hurting himself. Like, he didn't want to come off the thing that was in his butt. Like, he wanted to fight for it. I'm like, I ripped it out and he was still, you know what I mean, aggressive. I'm like, you need to lay down, settle down. He didn't want to lay down. I just tried to get him to calm down for a second.
So he's naked, you pulled this thing out of his butt, which probably hurt. I mean, I'm guessing it hurt him.
It must have. I didn't know at the time. I mean, and I don't do the bad thing. I don't know nothing about it. What hurt was my pride and my feelings. And the fact that he's up there doing that. He know how embarrassing that is. I'm like, what are you doing? Give me that. And that's when it squirted out, miss. And that's when I addressed it right away. That's it. I go back downstairs and I sit down. And I just watch him to see if he's going to do anything else that can cause more harm than a spanking. And that's what I waited for. And I just sat there and I watched him. And that was it. He didn't do anything. After that. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
And then at some point he calls you up there again?
Yes, ma'am. Yup, and that's when I went to go check on him. And that's when he started not looking good. Yeah, so he's laying on his side, doing this, something, and he's just putting on the show again, you know what I mean?
He puts on a show like he's having a seizure?
Oh, yeah. 24/7. Like this.
Are you sure he's putting on a show? I mean, he has been to the hospital.
Yes, ma'am. It was not a seizure because, look, I can tell him, like, stop it right now. Here's the sucker.
The cause of death for Takota turned out to be force trauma combined with compressive asphyxia and water submersion. If the pain he inflicted by violating him with the stool leg and standing on him was not enough, Mutahan also tried to drown Takota in the bathtub, which took his life in the end.
I'm afraid for my life. Yeah. I'm hurt that my child is gone. It's unbelievable. Like, I still don't believe right now. He's dead, gone, not coming back.
You're afraid for your life?
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. Your child's dead and you're afraid for your life.
I'll be spending the rest of my life in prison. I'm 30 years old. What I'm going to do for the rest of my life, all because I tried to raise my child the right way and he became defiant and we ran into a situation. You know what I mean? People knew what he was doing. Yeah. But at the same time, it wasn't for them to do anything about it. It was for me to do something. I feel like I should have really just tried harder on getting him some better counseling. Yeah. But we in Ohio at that too. That's automatic death penalty, ain't it? It is, ain't it?
What are you thinking is death penalty?
They just changed the law.
I'll look into that, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Despite how shocking the details of the case were, what sticks out even more is the bold lies and claims that Mutahan made. He stayed remorseless until the very end, and though he was punished for his crimes by the legal system, to many, it still seems like little Takota Collins never got the justice he deserved. Al Mutahan McLean was arrested and charged with 1 count each of murder, rape, and kidnapping, in addition to 3 counts of endangerment. In September 2021, he pleaded guilty to all these charges. His girlfriend Amanda and her sister Jennifer pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and endangering a... On September 29, 2021, Judge J. Dennis Atkins, presiding over the Montgomery County Common Pleas Court, gave Mutahan a sentence of 51 years to life in prison, the maximum possible penalty. Eligible for parole only in 2072 at the age of 83.
She keeps threatening me. Stop. Well, she keeps threatening me.
Stop it.
Well, she keeps on threatening me. I have stopped it.
This is the exact moment when this evil mother, Leticia Stauch, was caught for killing her 11-year-old stepson, Ganon Stauch. On January 27, 2020, Ganon went out playing with his friends but never returned home. It was already night, and 36-year-old Leticia decided to call 911.
County 911. My son was going to be home at 6 o'clock, and it's almost 7.
He's only 11. Okay. What's his name? Ganon. When was he last seen? Maybe around like 3:30 maybe? Has this ever happened before? No. No. So we went to the neighbor's house. My daughter just went to Stingray Park, and he's not there.
Calling 911 after just an hour of the child not being home may seem hasty, but not unless Leticia already knew something that no one else did.
You are?
I am Tisha Stauch, which is Ganon's stepmother.
You've been a part of the investigation since the very first time. You were the last person to see him. Is that right?
Correct.
What did you see when you last saw him?
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about anything with the case. I would more so be willing to talk about how the community needs to have faith and continue to work together and not make these false accusations, like the things that have been said that I've disappeared from the community. I haven't been there to help, but there's lots of reasons behind that.
Reasons like death threats, right?
Right. Death threats are one of them. My family's getting lots of death threats. We counted over 20 some death threats already. 2, my husband's ex-wife is living in our home, and of course I'm not coming home to do these things and to help with the family when I was kind of like told I couldn't. And then many other things that happened with the El Paso County Police Department, you know, and in doing the investigation I was told I wasn't complying.
After an extensive search, Ganon's body was found. On March 17, 2020, over 1,300 miles away from his home, his remains were discovered tucked under a Florida overpass bridge. But prior to this, on March 2nd, Leticia was finally arrested by the FBI in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. In the following interrogation, you are about to hear Leticia lie through her teeth while making up the most absurd stories. Watch on and see whether they sound convincing to you.
Well,
and I'm not saying
I
that's
just
what
want to
happened
say
with
to you,
you.
I can help you because what you're charging me with is not, or whoever, is not the case.
Okay.
Ganon is alive, okay, and I can help you.
Okay, great.
But see, here's the problem. When I reached out to people about getting help, I said, hey, I need someone who's going to help me to help you guys. I couldn't get that from anyone at all.
We are happy to help you.
Okay, so I understand you might say you have like whatever evidence that you might say you have, but that's not a case. I did not hurt my child, okay? Need more assistance besides just FBI. You're probably going to need some DEA, probably need a lot of help.
Well,
Okay.
I'm happy to get whatever help.
Okay.
How do you know?
But
he's
I
alive
can't
if he's-
help you unless people are willing to help me, and I did offer every opportunity to sit down and talk with not only my husband, but with Landon to try to come up with the best plan to do it. I really did. And I've been begging every single day, please, please, please don't say this, okay? I know you're expert in your field, okay? I know you may say you have whatever evidence you have, but it's just not true, okay? It's not, okay? That's the truth.
Okay.
That is the very truth. And every day that went by, I had to do nothing but not only protect myself, but protect my family in this, protect other people in this, and that's just what it's been.
So I think our biggest problem is what happened at the house then.
At the house?
Yes.
Well, there's nothing that would have happened at the house that has anything to do with what I'm talking about at all. That has nothing to do with anything.
My goal, though, is to find Ganon.
Right.
And if you need protection, if there truly is someone out there, we can provide that.
That's not me.
Happen though, I will need you to explain what happened from that night.
Which night?
The night that he disappeared. Because I've looked at all the news stories. We have been listening to your phone for the last month. It probably doesn't surprise you.
Okay.
We're listening to other people's phones as well, trying to find this kid.
Okay.
And we know from the internet and whatever else, there's a lot of stories out there. So if someone truly took Ganon, though, we need to know the real story, because you put out quite a few different stories. We heard a lot of the stories to Al.
To Albert?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like talking to him? Oh, okay. So let me just explain that to you, and you might think that's like super, like.
I'm not going to judge you here, Leticia.
Whatever. To him was the reason I already knew someone was listening to him, but because of him not like being like supportive, and I tried originally to talk to him when he first got there. That was the only reason I said those things to him, was just because I was out of anger and out of like hurt and not being able to have like support. It was nothing to do with like I'm sitting here going to tell you these things. That was just anger, stupidity to him. And I already knew, like, if you heard it, you heard me say a lot of times, I know people are listening, because I know at the same time that someone's called, every time I could hear people. Right. I knew that. So me saying those things to him was just being what is the word you want to call it? Selfish or facetious or whatever you want to call it. Just because that was, I was hurt by him not wanting to work together to figure this out, because I did have like originally initial different thoughts on certain things, and that was me trying to like basically read him and try to figure the situations out. So I understand that you may have heard those or whatever you may have heard, and that's okay, because that totally was not it. That was not me trying to be. That was just being stupid to him.
Okay.
But
so you were of sound mind when you were talking to Al. You were upset with him and upset with the situation of him not being by your side through this whole thing. Right. But then at the same time, like, I have to sit back and think that, you know, in a person's brain, you hear 100 different things. You do get like miscombobulated and just try to like do whatever. I just wanted him to know, because he knows, like, I've been taking care of our kids like for so long while he was gone and their mom was gone, and I'm not here to bash either one of them. They had a lot of different separate situations going on that I've always taken care of the kids. And so there's been times I've protected them from so many people. You basically had to raise them on your own because he was gone a lot.
Well, he was gone a lot, and Mom was doing whatever she was doing, you know. So with that, like, I've had to step in and protect them a lot, so many times.
Albert Stauch is Leticia's second husband and Ganon's biological father. Leticia was left with 3 children at home, Ganon and Lena being her stepchildren, and Harley, her own daughter from another marriage. As Al was away a lot due to his work, Leticia was left alone to look after all the children. Although she claimed she was entirely dedicated to taking care of them, she actually resented having to do all this by herself. This resentment was clearly reflected in her search history, which she used like a personal diary. Some of these searches included the following. When Al confronted Leticia on the phone about his missing son, Leticia even gave him the most disappointing and vague answers.
So, but then you keep sending me messages, emergency, we can fix this right now, but then you never tell me anything.
Number 2, that's the second thing. We know that, all right? Anything I haven't done. All right, so why come when I gave them the information that I gave them, why did they not look into it? Why did they not believe it? Why?
What information about Quincy Brown?
Anywhere.
Are you talking about Quincy Brown? What information are you talking about?
No, I did not.
What information?
Okay, you just said they don't tell you anything, right? That's what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
So, which means they would have gotten information from me.
Okay, so what information was it?
And that I told them they have not covered any areas except only the areas that I drove.
Do you think Al was faithful to you? Was he cheating on you?
We never had like any conversations until like, of course, Mad, like recently. But like prior to that, we never had like fusses, or it might be something like Albert was the type of person, when he got work, he just liked to come home. He wasn't like, I'm gonna go do this with people. He just wasn't that type of person, and that was the good part, because he wasn't, like, not saying you can't, like, I know, sure, you might say if a football game's on, you might want to go watch with your friends. Right. But usually, for the most part, we'd do it together or go over there and do something together, but it was never really like having our own people that we did things with and also kind of together. So we never like had issues or anything like that. Most of the time, but the issues that we always had was I never wanted the kids to ever come back here a lot of times during like their breaks, and we would get like arguments about it. But he would always say, well, I have to, I'm obligated, to do these things.
So you don't think he was cheating on you prior to this whole thing going on with Ganon? Did you suspect?
That Albert was cheating on me?
Mm-hmm.
No, there's been times in the past where I've saw that he's talked to other women, like on messages and things like that. But then he's also, like, you guys have my phone in the past, you would have saw that he's always apologized for, like those things, like saying.
Were you guys considering divorce, you and Albert?
I didn't know anything about any kind of divorce. Like, I know, like, we use the term loosely, because there was a lot of stress having to deal with, like, the situation with Landon. There was a lot of stress because, like, we fought so hard and so long to get kids to, like, a safe, situation. So it was very hard to, like, you've read someone and they're so emotionally, like, upset about the kids not being with us and we not being able to protect them that it was kind of hard. It took a lot, toll throughout that time frame of, like, Alaska. I'm sure you know about the time in Alaska and things like that. So during that time in Alaska and stuff like that, it was very hard to like have to see him be so upset from so many miles away. And, we get calls that the kids didn't have a place to stay. We get calls that there was guns in the back of their car and people were being arrested. And so that took its toll in the terms of, like, figuring we should not have to, like, go through these things.
Right.
She claims she adored Ganon, which might be true, but there is a great deal of evidence that shows her trying to manipulate and scare Ganon. For example, in the video that we'll play next, Ganon had apparently lit a small fire by accident in the living room, and Leticia is confronting him about that. Ganon is visibly afraid, but instead of consoling him, she tries to scare him even more.
Well, devastating. Initially, Scott, I can't lie, when the TMZ information was
Ganon, I
initially...
promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose?
He did it.
Okay, you promise. You promise.
On purpose.
Pinky promise.
Pinky.
Okay, alright, so, listen. We're gonna have to sell stuff to fix it, okay? So, we figure out what we gotta sell. We can sell the sofa, we can sell whatever, because we gotta get it fixed, so lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house, okay? You got it?
It is normal for a parent to get angry at a child for such mishaps, but what Leticia ended up doing to Ganon makes you wonder if her interactions prior to his death were nearly as innocent.
So when I say something
I'll talk to you in private, but you can't tell Albert about anything that led up to it or anyone else.
Albert will not know.
I understand that, but I will. But I need your help, and I need to know that you tell me there's resources, you tell me whatever, okay? I know you're saying you got whatever, this and that and all that, but I really am going to need help, like, a lot. Swear to you. Don't base it on some alarm reports, because they can easily manipulate it.
Well, we're not just...
They easily would. I know, I'm saying when you're saying no one else was there.
So...
When you say that, don't base it on that, please. I'm begging you. Because that was not even remotely. It was not even it. Not even.
So you care about Ganon?
I care about Ganon. I have reached out every day offering for people to go in these certain places to get even insight, to see. I've every day asked, hey, can you go do this? Can someone meet me here?
So you've asked someone to go look for him?
Right, like I reached out and I asked Albert, I said, hey, can you meet me? Let me tell you about this and let's go to this location to look. I've asked all these.
What location do you think he's at now, Ganon?
No, I'm just saying, like,
no,
in general.
but I'm asking you.
In
right
general.
Now, where do you think he is right now?
I don't know exactly. I don't know.
Well, where do you know him to last?
But I am 99% confident Ganon is alive.
Okay. Leticia, where do you know him to last be?
I want to help, sir, but I'm in a room and you've already talking about all this and the courts, and it's me against everybody else.
So here's the deal. Once this thing goes through the courts, you talked about that, you're the only one to be with him. You think you're going to be able to tell a story.
A story?
It might be a true story.
Gosh. Sir.
But listen, I've listened to a lot of your stories, and I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, okay, that's because I was mad at him. Had nothing. I already knew.
But I've seen what you told the news reporter. I've listened to what you told El Paso about this assault that happened in the house.
I already knew that you guys were listening to him.
Yeah.
So I said that because I was angry.
But what I think I can offer you today is some help.
Okay.
Okay.
It is cruel that even though Leticia knew from the very beginning that Ganon was no more, she still kept telling everyone he was alive, keeping his poor father's hopes alive even when his son was not.
Yeah. And so I'm looking at your story, the ones that you've told to Al, the ones that you've said in the media, of hitting your head. When you hit your head, you didn't see what happened. And then when someone else takes Ganon, or when he's riding a bike and he hits his head and stuff like that.
I didn't buy it. I just told you I was saying that to Albert because I was upset that he wasn't listening to me, that I did not hurt Ganon.
I don't think you intended to hurt Ganon at all.
Sir, there's no...
No, I'm not saying you did. Or he hurt himself. Something bad happened in his room.
No.
Have you seen the...
Sir.
You've helped clean it off the wall.
Sir,
we know that.
This here, what you're talking about is completely irrelevant about the whole freaking mad, whatever.
Tell me about, if it's irrelevant, Leticia, help me. Because there's a big blood pool in the corner, there's spray on the wall.
Because if I tell you anything about any of that, all you're going to say to me is, hey, da-da-da-da.
If you didn't do it, no, I will be your advocate. Because why, do we know each other?
No,
Why would I care? If you didn't do it, and it helps me find Ganon?
I didn't do it.
Okay, well then help me find out who did.
Who did what?
That to Ganon in his room.
Done what to Ganon in his room?
There's a pool of blood in the corner.
Okay.
That's Ganon's blood.
Okay, so you're saying, now this is where I have a hard time knowing whether you're like, okay, trust you or not, right? You're saying there's a pool of blood. Albert said saucer-sized blood, because I'm sure you had him say all this, because I'm sure you were there, or whatever. Okay. In his room, and you said something about, what'd you say?
On the wall.
Okay. Then, if that's your whatever, your expert advice, or
there's
whatever.
More blood.
Okay. Then, where do you think that I had any involvement with Ganon, and where did he go? That's where it has to click at some point. That.
Because you know in here I even have what you entered in your phone. The stuff that you've entered and deleted. Like, blood is spurting from an arterial bleed, direct pressure not controlling.
Do what? I didn't look this up.
It's from your phone.
Blood is what?
Spurting from an arterial bleed.
No.
Somebody did from your phone. I don't like my stepson.
No.
I don't like my stepson. Should I get a divorce? I'll stalk cheating. I'll stalk Instagram. I'll stalk cheating in Colorado Springs. Catch I'll stalk cheating. How to get blood out of sheets.
Out of sheets?
Mm-hmm. I want immunity.
Oh, the blood out of sheets was because we always had always nosebleeds. If I ever looked at blood out of sheets, it was nosebleeds.
And I figured it might be something.
I didn't ever look up anything about an artery or something unless it went from something else.
It's on your phone.
And I never looked up anything about my stepson unless someone else did.
The reason I brought up gangs is you looked up, I want immunity because it was gang related. And this sounds like, find me a new husband, find me a rich guy who wants to take care of his kids.
The new husband is just because Albert already knew that was about the lady Debbie Sherrill who wanted to find a new husband after 35 or something. He picked me about Amazon.
And like a lot of these can have nothing to do with this.
It doesn't.
I get it. Can I spray paint wood?
Spray paint wood? Well, we always spray wood.
Yeah. I'm doing all the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help.
Oh, that bothered me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame
Oh,
you.
yes, because I wanted them to be mine. Like
what about it?
Me to be their child.
Hit and run? You Googled a lot on Leticia and traffic accident, hit and run.
No, I didn't hit anybody.
No? What was that?
What date was it?
I don't have a date on these. I was downloading stuff as I was coming on the plane.
Yeah, no, I don't.
My husband wants a divorce. My husband wants a baby, but I want an abortion. One day, some people will wish they treated you differently, which I get that. Parenting should be for people, not one. Quotes a suicidal person might say. I mean, these make me very sad when I read them because I can see you're doing all the work at home by yourself.
Which I wanted to be there. Like, I wanted to totally have the kids as my children. That's the point you're not getting. Like, I wanted those kids to be saying to me that I'm their mom.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the person who cares for them, loves them, everything. So you can think that.
What do you do if you suspect a person swallowed poison? Did somebody actually swallow poison?
Poison? I don't know. I always click things and read them.
Did somebody swallow it?
No one swallowed any poison.
Okay. You will never forgive me and treat me like a princess. You'll never know when it's too late.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I always search for things when Albert was gone.
What is an Alford plea? Did you figure out what an Alford plea was?
Alford plea?
Yeah. ALFORD.
I think someone asked me that and I probably searched it.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Do you remember? What did you remember?
I don't remember. I just remember something. Because someone was writing that online. So if anyone wrote something online, I looked it up. Just like the other day, someone wrote something about FBI coming or something, and if I see something online, I always Google what someone else said and see what they're saying is matching what is saying online.
Right.
So I did that completely. I do that all the time for everything.
Detective Grusing brings up other searches from her history, which are more than enough to point doubt at Leticia, yet she sticks to her story. The search history was also brought up in Leticia's court hearing and was key in convincing the jury of her crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not telling me or Bob Markham, the dad?
I didn't say I knew where Ganon was.
You said you know he's okay.
No, I said as a parent, I'm never going to sit here and look at you and say, he's not okay. That's not what I'm going to do because I didn't do this. So why would I look at you and say that? I'm dead looking at you in the eye saying, I would never as a parent say that. No way could I ever say that. Because I love Ganon. I did not hurt Ganon. Okay.
I told you where most of these happen. They happen in the house with parents who love their kids.
I get what you're saying, okay? I understand. I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate all the work and time and dedication you put into all of these things to have those statistics. But I am not the one.
But then if you're not the one, you're going, so do you know what happens from here?
What?
You go to a local holding cell.
Okay.
They hold you for 24 hours up to 2 weeks until you get extradited back to Colorado.
Okay.
You're in jail, Leticia. And unless you tell me that somebody else did this, you're the only one that did it.
No, I didn't do it.
But I'm telling you.
But I didn't.
But that's what would be horrible, is if someone else did this, and you're going to let them skate because you're scared?
Not letting someone skate.
What could you possibly be scared of at this point?
I'm not letting... Do you think I would sit here and let someone skate if I could take you directly to the person right now? Why do you think I would need resources?
You don't need resources. Right now, what you need is that if someone took my son, and I know who it is, am I going to go to jail for the rest of my life because someone else took my son?
No, absolutely not.
No, and would I be afraid of my own protection going to jail when I could be free and that person could go to jail?
But she just sit there. Even if I walked you to the person, she just sit there and said, oh, I can't make any promises.
You can't make promises, but which is better? To go to jail for the rest of your life and hope that we find the person, or to point us to a person? If I'm in your position, it makes no sense.
Right.
Well, what could you be scared of at this point? Reprisals?
No. The fact that you don't have... Apparently you would have found some of this already if you would have had the resources. That's what scares me.
Found some of what?
Anything that would have led you to think whatever.
No, that doesn't make sense. Again.
Sir, it does. Or what did you say name? James? John?
John. Starts with a J, that's fine.
Sorry.
I'm not offended. Leticia, your story makes no sense. And what it goes back to now is that you can't take responsibility for what happened to Ganon.
I didn't do anything to Ganon, sir.
You can't insert someone else in here unless you're going to tell me who it is.
Okay, I didn't do anything to Ganon, sir.
That's fine. Well, then can you tell me how that blood got on the wall?
Sir.
That's Ganon's blood on the wall.
Okay, well, I guess, sir, if you think you have all the answers, then...
You're making me guess.
I'm not.
You've got the answers,
I'm not making
Leticia.
you guess, sir. I'm going to be respectful to you. Because
Leticia.
you offered to help me, you didn't help me, so I'm just going to sit here.
But it doesn't work like it does on TV. Have you ever watched Criminal Minds or Profilers?
I don't watch any of that stuff, because I don't do bad things to people.
No, good people watch those shows.
I don't do any of that. I don't do bad things to people.
All I was going to say is it's not like on TV. If someone presents us with evidence, then we just follow the evidence.
Okay.
Right now, you're the last person with Ganon.
Then I don't do bad things to people. I don't.
I don't think you do bad things to people.
I don't do bad things to anyone, and I didn't do anything bad to Ganon.
I think something bad happened to Ganon, and I don't know of a way to get you to tell me about it.
Okay.
I tried through Al to get you to tell me about it. We've tried here.
Okay.
You came, and I think you have a defense mechanism. And I think your defense mechanism was, you need to go into another room, you tell us.
No, that was not no defense mechanism. I trusted you to talk to you because I thought you would
If you
help.
trusted me to talk to me, you would tell me where Ganon is right now.
I don't know where Ganon is.
You do. You know where he last was, and it wasn't at the Petco.
Okay, then.
But see, you can't make me guess. That's not fair to me.
Why would I keep
It's not fair to
talking
Ganon.
if you're not going to help me?
You tell me how to help you.
I already did. I already did tell you. I told you how you could help, and you...
Nobody holds a kid like that.
Okay, if that's what you think.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
If the sun comes up in the morning, it goes down at night every day. We have worked hundreds of these things.
That's what you think. Okay. Me talking to you is not going to do anything else because all you're going to do is go think that you're going to get me to say something that I did that I didn't do.
That is not what I want.
Because I did not do anything to Ganon. Why would I hurt our child? I had everything in the world. Why? I have no motive. None. Don't have the first motive. Everything I wanted in my life, I had it. Why? Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense a lot of the time what happens inside of a house.
Sir, I don't even know what you're talking about. All I can tell you is, I did not hurt Ganon. I have no reason to. In fact, to go on the record, I had a way better relationship with Ganon than I did with Lena. Way better. Because we were so much alike. We always like the same things. We always have problems with our stomach. We always do all these things.
Do you know that there's almost a correlation sometimes between how much you get along with someone and how bad things happen in the house? I'm telling you that, Tisha.
I don't. Well, maybe bad things happen in your house.
They happen in the house a lot more than they do out in public.
Maybe bad things happen in your house. But
would it help if we showed you pictures of what we saw on the wall and by the bed?
Sir.
When you say nothing bad happened, you can't get around. Yes, Al, but we did not show Al that on purpose. He had to come get stuff out of the house. And he looked and saw the blood pool was about this big on the concrete.
Okay.
The day that Ganon went missing and the police arrived to search their home, they had found a large blood stain on the carpet and blood spatter all over the ceiling. When the forensic team examined the evidence, their first glances were enough for them to declare that Ganon was likely no more. There was far too much blood and too little hope to begin with. But till the very end, Leticia refused to accept what she had done, and in the end, a long search for Ganon prevailed. On March 17, 2020, Ganon's remains were found under the Escambia Bay Bridge in Pace, Florida, more than 1,300 miles away from his home. His cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma and sharp force injuries. It was found that he had been stabbed 18 times. Search teams used drones, dogs, horses, helicopters, and divers to comb through various areas of interest, and thousands of hours were spent in searching for him. Leticia Stauch pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity and claimed she had dissociative identity disorder, which results in multiple personalities within the same individual. She claimed that this was triggered due to sexual abuse she faced in her childhood. She also accused her husband of being involved in Ganon's death and alleged that he had connections to drug cartels and sex trafficking rings. However, she was found competent to stand trial by a state mental hospital, and her claims were dismissed by the court as unfounded. On May 8, 2023, after a 2-week trial that included testimonies from Ganon's biological parents, teachers, friends, investigators, forensic experts, and witnesses, Leticia Stauch was found guilty of all charges by a jury. She was sentenced to life in prison without parole plus 156 years by Judge Gregory Werner, who was reduced to tears after seeing Albert Stauch's testimony. He called her actions the most horrific I have ever seen and said that she deserved the maximum sentence that I can impose according to Colorado law.
But if you're helpful in our investigation, we can talk to the.
That's what I'm finna ask you now. What
the things you help us with? Listen to me.
Can somebody put something in writing for me?
Listen to me. Listen to me. The things you can help us with may be the determining factor if you're charged with homicide or not.
Did you tell him you were down and out on money? That he did it on his own to help you get out of that trouble?
I didn't tell him to do nothing.
But did you
we had a conversation, but I didn't tell him to do nothing.
What'd you have a conversation about? Let us know why he did this for you. Let us know what you said to him to make him do this.
I didn't know that he would take it that far.
Well, you didn't know, but what did you tell him to make him think of something like that?
On September 13, 2014, 50-year-old Vietnamese store owner Fong Trong was murdered. The owner of the TM Food Mart in Pensacola, Florida was viciously robbed and shot multiple times. When witnesses from the store were questioned, they all pointed fingers at 19-year-old Dontonio Thornton, who had been at the store with his mom, 40-year-old Willie Mae. But the truth was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Brace yourself, as these interrogation clips are going to reveal a horrifying story of manipulation with layers of deceit.
Dontonio, is that how to say your name? All right. I know you met Investigator Worth, right? All right. I'm Sergeant Barnes. I run this homicide unit up here. All right. So, first off, you may have already answered a couple of questions that she asked. So if you did, I apologize just because I got here late or whatever. So, and bring me up to speed here. What all did you tell her about the store and stuff that day?
All of them caught me going there, bounce, leave and go to the grocery store and back to the house. That's it.
And that was with your mama?
Yeah.
Okay. And what else? That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. And you how old, son? 19? What school did you go to?
I went to a school called AMI for Kids.
Oh, okay. You didn't play no ball or anything like that coming up?
I did, going to Memphis. When I was growing up in Memphis.
Did you play football, baseball, what?
Basketball.
Basketball. Was that your favorite sport? And you got a couple cousins that play football, don't you?
All my little cousins play basketball and football.
Now, how is Albert related to you? Just friends, still friend?
Mm-mm. He ain't my friend.
No, he's not your friend?
He ain't got no friend.
You ain't got no friends?
Mm-mm.
You ever been to penitentiary?
Mm-mm.
Never. How many youngins you got, son?
One and one on the way.
One, and how was that?
Well, he won.
He's one? And this is by
two this year.
And that's by your baby's mama who works up at McDonald's. All right. And you know what you got coming? Boy or girl?
We don't know yet.
Oh no, too early?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the other one that's here? That's gonna be 2. That's a boy?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. You love him, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You spend time with him?
Yeah, every day with him.
Notice how Sergeant Barnes skillfully asks questions, building rapport and putting him at ease. This approach is crucial in making him feel comfortable enough to reveal the truth.
How often would you go to that store?
No.
Not often?
Mm-mm.
but you happened to go that day he was killed.
Just to get some. That's it.
Just to get some.
Yeah.
You love your family?
Yeah.
You do anything for them?
Yeah.
They do anything for you?
Yeah.
Your mama gonna do jail time for you?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? Not from what your granny told me.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna do jail time for your mama?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a I don't know. It's a yes or a no question, son. Never touching your baby, never touching your old lady ever again.
Then it'll be what it is.
It is what it is?
Yeah.
But did your son, Antonio, did he have a gun that day? I mean, hey, this nut cutting time now.
Be honest.
Because, here, like I said, I don't play games.
I'm not playing games with nobody.
I'm going to put it out there simple with you, son. You see that glove right there?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? All right, you know where those gloves come from?
What about them?
Do you know where they come from?
I'm saying, what about them?
What about them? Well, that glove is left at the homicide scene. Okay?
Okay.
All right. DNA tests have already been done on that. And guess whose DNA it comes back to?
Okay.
It comes back to you.
Okay. I had a pair of them in the trunk before, so I'm just saying, what about them?
What about that? Well, explain to me how 5 feet away from a dead guy with his brains blown out does
all I
this
know is
glove,
I didn't kill nobody.
Okay? Well, let me tell you the obstacle that you have to overcome. Okay? The obstacle that you have to overcome is that when we sent this to FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, this is science. This ain't we come up with. This is science. All right? So your DNA is already on file because you have a record between Memphis and here. Okay? So the numbers, we get numbers of 1 in 1,000. That's not good numbers because there's 3 billion people in the world. Well, the numbers of your DNA in this glove are what they call in the quintillions, which outweighs the population in the world, which means that can't be anybody else's DNA except Willie Mae Thornton. Okay? Now, you don't work.
No.
All right? This is an industrial glove. That glove comes from a place where your boyfriend works.
Okay.
Because he has those gloves.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. At the house, it would be in the trunk.
But he's working. Well, that's can't fly.
Okay.
He can't get up and walk in there.
And I know one for a fact that I didn't take it in there. Okay.
So it's motherly instinct to try to protect. You understand that? And I understand that. But, this man, he had 7 kids. 7 children, just as you have 5 or 4.
I got 4.
4. He had 7. He was on his second marriage, and we're up there, and I got a 2-year-old boy grabbing onto my leg because he has a 2-year-old son. And none of the family speak English because they're Vietnamese. We had to get an interpreter. Nobody has the right to take life but the man up above.
You're right. You are so right about that.
Nobody. Not us, not anybody else.
Nobody.
The obstacle to overcome here is you can't explain why that glove with your DNA is in that store to a jury of your peers and them to buy it. I told your son that this don't go away. I said, I'll have your mama in here this week, I promise you.
I was coming in on Monday. I just was going to celebrate my birthday. I was coming in on Monday.
Now, you love your family?
Yeah.
Are you that cold-hearted of a person?
No, I'm not.
Then you break it down for us about how it went down.
Willie was right there with Antonio when the incident happened. Yet the lies in her denial of everything are almost detectable, hinting at a desperate attempt to avoid the actual truth. The way she plans her responses and meticulously tries to lie about the gloves is just immaculate. A performance of deception that would be impressive if it weren't so chilling.
I went and just don't get my ticket. Looking for the car. He came in and said he was going to use the bathroom, not knowing he was coming in.
Who's he? Okay.
Don Antonio.
She used the bathroom. So I'm standing there looking for the card.
Outside or inside?
Inside.
In your purse or whatever?
In for the card. Standing there talking to him like we talk, like me and the man always be talking to each other. I just seen and heard pow, and he just fell over. I never even seen him coming. I never saw him coming.
How did you get to the store?
In the car.
You were in the car. Was your son in the car with you?
Yes, I never saw it coming.
So basically, you were going up the store just a normal kind of run of the mill thing.
It was the third time she'd been to the store that day.
I go to the store.
No, I mean, you just go to the store. I mean, so your son, he comes with you, and you tell us when you come in the store, what do you normally do?
I get my tickets.
Get your ticket.
I'm not scratch tickets if I'm gonna stay there during the daytime. I was just standing there looking for the card because I picked up the wrong card. It happened, so would you really know it was gonna happen? I was still there. I wasn't paying no attention.
Mm-hmm.
Really to just. You
didn't pay any attention. And then what happened? You just next all spent.
It was
bang. After you heard the shot.
I was standing there in shock.
Okay. What happened after that?
That was it. He said, oh. I said, what did you just do? What did you just do? What did you just do?
Mm-hmm.
Just like that right there. He just started moving around and panicking. And I'm just still like, I'm like, oh my God.
Willie has confessed to the crime she witnessed, and it seems like only a matter of time before D'Antonio too accepts the deeds he's committed. But is this really all? Or is this just the tip of the iceberg?
All right, have a seat. You're going to be arrested right now. I have a warrant for your arrest for murder, 1st degree, and robbery with firearm.
And you don't have nothing else to say?
Nothing else, because I know I'm not the one. I don't know what y'all talking
about. Well, we know you are.
All right. If you say I am, then I know I'm not.
You're being charged with murder and robbery.
All right.
And you have no bond.
D'Antonio's reaction to the arrest is nothing short of shocking. He continues to deny the charges, but not for long.
Why y'all say my mama pointed the finger at me?
What's that?
I said, why y'all say my mama pointed the finger at me?
I'm not saying she pointed the finger at you.
What you said?
She pointed the finger at you. But I'm not just talking. It ain't just words. She pointed the finger at you. That's why you're sitting where you're sitting. That's why you're under arrest. That's why you're in handcuffs. That's why when you leave this room, you're going across the street to county. That's why you don't have a bond.
Mm-hmm.
She pointed the finger solely on you.
My plan of that, then?
You're an out.
Mm-hmm.
You were the out. Save your own time when she was in here.
Mm-hmm.
I said it was save your own time when she was sitting in here. Depends on you.
Why is it that?
If you sit here and you stick with I don't know nothing about nothing, she gonna win. Cause you ain't gonna win with that. It's just two options from here on out. I told you. It's either I don't know nothing about nothing and see where that gets me. Or the truth, and let's pray for some leniency and forgiveness.
I said, I can't believe it, though.
Which part?
So my mama blaming it on me.
Are you willing to take that chance?
His expression is one of deep disappointment. Even after learning that his mother has revealed everything, potentially putting him in danger, he remains silent, but not for long. Watch as upon seeing his warrant, he finally unveils the actual truth.
She said you shot that guy.
Can't be.
That's what I'm telling you. I ain't got no reason to you.
What a warrant for my arrest? They ain't even show me no warrant.
We don't have to show you a warrant. You'll see it whenever you get processed in the jail. But if you want to see the warrant, and that makes you feel better that I'm not you,
I want to see it.
I imagine this is the warrant coming in the door right here.
D'Antonio Diaz Thornton, homicide, murder, while engaged certain felony offense, robbery with a firearm, no bond, signed by the judge today.
It was my attention to. It was my plan.
I know it wasn't. You just hard up for cash? Down on your luck?
I was told to do it. She was down on her luck. She came and picked me up.
She said, "That's what we're gonna do."
I ain't know she first came about the food stuff from her. She pulled up. I got in the truck. We were riding. And then she started riding up Michigan. She had the gun and the gloves in her purse, but I ain't put on no gloves, though.
She already had the gun.
She had the gun and the glove.
See, she said it was your gun.
She had the gun and the glove.
You know where she got the gun from?
I just know it was an all-black gun. I don't even remember what type.
Big gun, little gun?
Big.
Like
Big gun.
Like a 45 or a 40?
Yeah.
45? She says...
She came and got me. She was like... She need to get Mr. Terry money back.
Mr. Terry?
Yeah. Her boyfriend, she went to casino and lost his money.
Lost his money?
Yeah. She came to me, we were riding. She was like, she need to get her money back. And I was just like, what you mean? Then when she showed me the gun, she was like, she was been planning on it this morning. Then I was like, you really want to do it? And then with my mom, I was just feeling like, But she told me, boy, about the stuff, she was just like, put it in your pants, go in the bathroom, and I did what she said to do.
She said to shoot him? She said kill him?
Yeah.
Why?
She said it was either his life or her life.
So she just said go in, just kill the guy. It's either y'all or him. Why is it? She know he carried a gun?
She said he got a gun behind the counter. She's like, she know he got a gun.
What happened to his gun? She grabbed it or you did? Because I know he reached for it.
I took his gun.
What about the video equipment? You took the DVRs, but there's one camera that stands alone. And it's an independent camera. It doesn't go to that DVR equipment. Y'all throw it in the dump? Garbage? The woods?
Yeah, no video camera.
A mother orchestrating an entire murder and then pinning the blame on her own son. Can a mother really be this heartless?
He admitted to pulling the trigger. He admitted to everything. Willie Mae, he told us everything.
You gave him life. Give him life again. Help him. Tell the truth. Help him. He needs your help.
It is what it is at this point. I mean, we are where we are. It is what it is. At the end of our conversation, I gave him the opportunity to say something to that family. To let that family know that that man's life wasn't worth a couple $100. He wanted that opportunity. I gave him a notepad, and that's what he wrote. He said you needed some money to pay
I didn't
back
make
to
Tonio do nothing. I didn't make him do nothing.
You didn't twist his arm.
What did you ask him to do?
I didn't make him. I didn't ask nothing. It was a conversation. I didn't ask nothing. I didn't ask nothing.
Did you tell him you were down and out on money? That he did it on his own to help you get out of that trouble?
I didn't tell him to do nothing.
But did you
we
tell
had a
him
conversation, but I didn't tell him to do nothing.
What did you have a conversation about? Let us know why he did this for you. Let us know what you said to him to make him do this.
I didn't know that he would take it that far.
Well, you didn't know, but what did you tell him to make him think of something like that?
He said he was broke. I said, well, Mama broke too. I said, I lost all my money playing lottery tickets. Just plain and simple as that. I said, well, I don't know what I'm going to tell Terry for the rest of the week because I don't have no extra money. When I'm out of money, he don't give me extra money. Mm-hmm. That's how the conversation went. I didn't know.
Oh, how did it lead up to this?
You know where he got that gun from? He said he got it from your house. Help your boy. That's all it is now. I mean, because we have enough to put you both away. We just want to know that he...
I didn't know he was going to do that.
Did he say he was just going to go rob him?
I didn't know he was going to do that.
But you didn't know he was going to shoot him.
Did he shoot him because he saw the guy going for his gun?
I don't know about that part. I couldn't see back behind where I was standing. I never knew it was a gun in the store or everything. I don't know if he seen the gun when he went there and he just panicked. I don't know. All I know, it was a gun on the counter just laying in front of the man. So the man don't had a chance to even reach for the gun. That much I do know. Okay. But I don't know if he saw it first. Mm-hmm. And knew it changed. I
saw the gun in panic.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
So it was just supposed to be a straight up robbery, not a murder.
That was it.
So y'all didn't plan to kill him?
We didn't plan to kill nobody.
Just supposed to be a couple $100 and
get he didn't plan when he killed when that shot. Everything changed. He wasn't supposed to kill nobody. I don't know.
Did you tell him to go in the bathroom?
At this point, it seems like the detectives care more about D'Antonio than his own mother does. Despite her son's dire situation, she continues to try to manipulate the case with her tears.
Did you guys talk about how you were going to do it? Like, if you were going to distract him a little bit?
No, he just said, he said, just go in the store and buy your tickets. He said, I got the rest. I said, what are you finna do, Tonjo? He said, I just buy your tickets like you was gonna do. I got the rest of it. He came and said he needed to use a bathroom. Okay. So I just thought he's gonna come by and just say, and that was it.
Money and that's it.
What kind of tickets did you ask for?
I asked for the regular $1 ticket. I asked for my 3 tickets, like I said.
The $1, three tickets for $1? Okay. And that's when he came around the side and asked you.
Yeah, and I already got my tickets. I was like, getting ready to turn away.
You already had your tickets?
Yeah, the man did the ticket. I was still at the purse, doing that, give it a turn, but he had already pulled them off and put them on the counter because I buy tickets all the time.
So he might have had them in his hand or something and you hadn't got them yet. Okay. What about, afterward? I know you had said that the bank bag, the gun, the video machine, and the keys, correct? Who did what? Who grabbed what? Because it had to have been quick. It had to have been so fast because you had to get out of there. I know he didn't do it all.
I was running around I was just running through the store. He's like, calm down. Help me find the tape.
Okay, so you went over to the tape machine?
I went over to, he said, I found it. And he went to trying to take it. He had a brown bag and he was trying to take the thing off. He got the first box off. When he got the first box off, he passed me the first box and we was looking, and there happened to be another box under the counter that you couldn't take it off, so you had to cut it off.
Who cut it?
I cut it off.
You cut it off. Who grabbed the bank bag?
He got the...
He said he grabbed the guy's gun, you grabbed the bank bag.
If the gun was laying by the bag, I didn't touch the gun.
He said he took
it was a bag right there.
Yes,
I didn't look in the bag, grab the bag. Tony, you're the one that opened the bag up and saw what was in the bag once it was in the truck.
What was that?
It was money in the bag, but he counted the money. Yeah.
Okay.
What about the DVR equipment in the bank bag?
Where's that at?
What'd you do with that?
Tonio did get rid of that. I don't know that part.
He said
he did get rid of it.
That you kept that video.
I don't
throw it in the trash.
I don't have the video. I don't have no tape. I did not a gun.
Where'd you ditch it?
I don't have that.
Where'd you throw it?
I don't have no tape.
Where did you ditch it?
I didn't ditch no tape. Now that's on everything. I didn't ditch your tape.
When you dropped him off at his girlfriend's house, he did not take it out of the truck.
I didn't ditch no tape.
What about the bank bag? You threw it away?
Tonio got rid of all of that.
So he took it with him when he got out of the truck.
Tonio got rid of all that. I dropped Tonio off and picked Tonio back up. Tonio got rid of all of that.
Okay, you dropped him off.
I dropped Tonio off. Tonio got rid of all of it.
Hold on, slow down. Because you're skipping.
No, I'm not skipping. I'm telling you, Tonio got rid of that stuff before he ever got home. I don't know where he got rid of it at. I was just supposed to drop him off, come back and pick him up.
So you made a stop between the grocery store and home. Where'd you make a stop?
I just dropped him off What, over by the grocery advantage. He just got out.
Right,
and I was
body.
going to come back around and pick him up. And come back around, pick him up, took him home.
So he dumped it over behind the grocery store?
I don't know where about he dumped, but I don't.
When he went out the store,
I know, I was
to
to pull off. He didn't, that was it. I just pulled off to stay away for a few minutes.
Where did he walk?
Listen to me, please.
I mean, I can see it on the video.
Listen.
It has the outside cameras.
Okay.
So did he get back in the
He
car?
got in the truck, that's what I'm telling you. I pulled up the street, he got out. I was to leave and
What
come
street?
back. Down the street.
Which way did you drive? Look, here's the map. Did you drive on Lillian, New Warrington, or Mobile Highway?
Oh, I forgot. I really don't forget which way. Seriously.
Willie's story isn't adding up, and the investigators are fully aware of it. Her manipulation isn't working as she thought it would. The facade is crumbling, and the truth is inching closer to the surface. Willie's addiction to gambling had drained all her money and left her in debt. Desperate, she thought she could use her son to rob the store, not realizing how disastrously wrong things would go. When she sensed that trouble was closing in and the timing was right, she placed all the blame on her son.
I mean, you think she's capable of being involved in a crime like this?
She capable of anything, knowing her, because she heartless. You know? She heartless. She don't care.
Nakia Dixon, who attended school with Willie, confirms Willie's disregard for her own children, which has been evident in the previous interrogation clips. A mother addicted to gambling, she didn't hesitate to exploit her son for money, and later used him as a scapegoat. In August 2015, the jury found Willie May guilty of first-degree murder. A year later, in August 2016, D'Antonio was found guilty of the same charge. Despite being manipulated by his mother, D'Antonio was deemed equally responsible for the crime. Both mother and son were charged for first-degree murder and were sentenced to life in prison without the chance of parole. On February 26, 2021, 29-year-old Brittany Gosney and 42-year-old James Hamilton stepped into Middletown Police Department. They wanted to report Brittany's 6-year-old son James Hutchinson missing. It might appear as if Brittany was a concerned mother, but she had already gone to extremes for another James in her life. However, the detectives could see right through them. The officers knew that they were not dealing with concerned parents and considered both Brittany and her boyfriend James as persons of interest.
Because we're missing a 6-year-old little boy, and we're trying to figure out where he's at. I got to make sure he's safe. Okay? What time did you get up this morning?
He woke me up at 8.
He woke you up at 8. Did he wake you up any time before that to say that James was missing?
Not that I remember. He said he tried to wake me up several times, but
you don't
I'm on
remember?
medicine, so
What kind of medicine do you take?
I take anxiety meds.
Okay. Do you wake up on your own at 8, or does he wake you up at 8?
Well, he woke me up, and because he went looking around first, he said he had come in there several times before to try to wake me up, and he said I didn't respond to any time, so he just went outside and looked around, went through all the rooms, the closets, and all that, and he couldn't find him anywhere. So then the next thing he thought to do was just go around a couple blocks, see if he might be close by.
Did he walk there, or did he drive there, or what did he do for that part?
He drove around.
Okay.
But he came back and woke me up, and he was like, James is gone? I was like, what? And I was like, no, I thought he was upstairs asleep. And I even woke up the brother and sister, maybe thinking they might have seen him up, about, moving around or something, and they said they didn't hear nothing, they didn't see him. He's a baby, so
right.
I'm kind of worried about him.
Well, sure. Yeah, people want to time this, huh?
Gosney's composure and her being devoid of emotions is disturbingly inconsistent with a parent who has just lost a 6-year-old child. As for her other kids, she refers to them as his brother and sister, and not her children. Something does not seem right with Gosney.
Did you hurt your baby?
Yeah.
Now, do you know?
I love my kids. I would never.
Okay. Do you know who hurt your baby?
No.
All right. Do you know your baby's whereabouts right now? Okay. Do you suspect James is doing anything to your baby?
No.
Okay. You're 100% sure on that one?
Yeah, he loves him like I already do.
For the most part, Gosney seems to be sticking to her story and appears to be protecting her boyfriend James. Police have already discovered a needle at Gosney's residence, suggesting the involvement of drugs. This only establishes to Detective Hoover that Gosney is not ready to open up yet. The next step is to determine whether James will also show loyalty and protect Gosney. While Gosney was being interrogated, James was visibly restless. James appears to be the weak link and seems to be more conscious of the threat he's facing. However, he also has one or two tactics up his sleeve.
Man, why does this boy have to do this? God, James, why do you do this to us? Come on, I'm gonna get out and look for my stepson. This ain't doing me no good here. And I'm gonna have to be out helping find him. Come on. I want to go try to find my stepson, man. God, please. Let us find him. Come on, I need to go do something before I fall asleep again. I hate being sick. That's all I want to do when I sit around is go to bed.
As soon as the detective steps out, James can be seen performing a little for the camera. The defense mechanism James is portraying is called impression management. He's not only voicing his narrative and concerns for little James, he's also softened his voice to be perceived as less threatening. However, interrogators are trained to recognize such tactics and usually have their own tricks to counteract them. There is one other development at this point. Detectives Hoover and Matt know that little James was in trouble last night, and the information has come from a third party, the other children of Gosney. Detectives can leverage this information to obtain more from the couple, and they'll start with Gosney.
You should have told me. Okay? Again, if I find out differently, you could possibly be looking at criminal charges down the road if you're not telling me everything. Okay? Because this is serious. I'm missing a 6-year-old boy. I hope he just ran off on his own. Okay? But something's not clicking with me. Don't worry about that. Something's not clicking with me. Okay?
They're just family trying to see if I'm okay and stuff like that, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
So they come in.
So the last time you saw your baby was 9 o'clock last night.
Yes.
And the baby's been missing since 4-ish, 4:30-ish, whatever. And nobody's called the police since 10, until 10, after 10.
We came here at 9 something, I believe it was.
I can tell you exact time, 10:16.
So at some point during the morning, Brittany goes upstairs and picks James up and brings him down the stairs. Do you remember that?
No, sir.
Okay. Because she's claiming you were awake and you were there when she carried him, brought him back down the stairs. Is she incorrect there, or is she making that up, or could that have happened? And
it could have. I mean, I remember. I mean, like I said, I'd sit there and I'd doze off.
Sure.
I mean, I was just sitting right here going to sleep. Like,
Sure.
I mean,
So do you remember sometime after all the kids went upstairs and they were asleep or went to bed, because God knows they may lay there for an hour, but sometime after that, Brittany goes upstairs and gets little James and carries him back down the stairs?
Not that I recall, sir.
Not that you recall? Okay. Because Brittany's saying that you were awake when she brought him back downstairs and you guys talked briefly.
I mean, I I might have. I don't. I do not recall, sir. I mean,
Okay.
when I'm half asleep in that, I
Sure,
don't remember.
Sure.
The detectives are resorting to a tactic commonly known as creating a rift between suspects to break the solidarity between Gosney and James. By falsely claiming that one suspect is providing potentially incriminating information about the other, the detectives aim to sow distrust and encourage the suspects to reveal valuable information in their defense about the incident. How is that working for Gosney?
Him up, taking him downstairs.
You don't remember anything about picking him up, taking him downstairs in the middle of the night? James is pushing this off on you. Okay, I'm going to be real upfront with you about this at this point. I'm getting a story that is totally different than what you've told me, and I don't know why James is telling me that, but that's what he's telling me. Okay, that's part of what he's telling me. Okay, he's wanting more detail than that. Okay, but I'm not going to share that with you. I need to know what happened last night with your boy, your 6-year-old. Or this morning, early this morning. In the middle of the night. Whatever.
I know he said that he had a nightmare.
The 6-year-old?
Yeah, but I didn't carry him downstairs or anything.
Okay, who carried him down the steps?
He walked down the steps.
He walked down the steps in the middle of the night? About what time was that?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't pay attention to the time.
That was in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I was more worried about what was wrong with him.
What does that mean?
Like what?
Why he was downstairs?
Why was he downstairs? Why was he awake? What was bothering him? Did he feel sick? Or he had to use the bathroom?
Okay, so he's downstairs, and what does he say to you?
Me had a nightmare.
Okay, in those words? Okay. So, me had a nightmare. What did you do? What was the next thing you did?
Just try to sit there and...
Where did he come to? The living room?
No, he went in there and woke me up.
In the bed?
Yeah.
And was James in bed with you at the time?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
He come in there and said, Mommy. I don't know how many times he probably said my name. I'm a deep sleeper.
Okay.
But I was rolling over and I heard Mommy, Mommy. At first I thought I was just hearing things. And then something told me, like, maybe I'm not hearing things. So I opened my eyes and he said, Mommy, we had a nightmare.
Okay. Tell me what happened.
James told me to get rid of the kids.
Okay.
And so I took them for a drive to make them think I'm going to get rid of them, but I'm not going to get rid of my kids for anybody on this planet. And he told me to get rid of them because they were not listening. He was tired of putting up with it. And I kept telling him, like, I'm not going to get rid of my kids. Like, I can take them, give you a break. And for me and them for a little while, take them for a drive, whatever. But I'm not getting rid of them. They're my kids. I will not do that.
Okay.
And I said, if I wanted to do that, I would have gave them up a long time ago. But he kept telling me, either get these kids under control or get rid of them or do something with them. So I tried asking family members to...
So what happened last night? Let's fast forward to that.
We went for a drive. I don't know what road it was.
Okay.
We were just driving around. Well, the kids were going to the bathroom. I had pulled over to this, a little booth.
In Middletown?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little stall or something. A bathroom. I pulled over to the bathroom, and let them all use the bathroom. While it was raining and stuff, I left the door unlocked in the van and told them, we'll all go in here, not all of us at once, but each one of us go in here one at a time, use the bathroom. So we went in the bathroom. Well, I couldn't go in there, but when I went to go in the bathroom, I told them, go ahead and just get in the van. Well, James had slipped and fell because his shoes were wet, slippery, and he had hit his head. And
did it kill him? Is that what you're telling me? Did the fall hurt him?
Well, I asked him if he was okay, he wouldn't answer me. So I noticed he was breathing kind of heavy. And I thought maybe that's not normal. I've never seen him breathe like that before. Well, he was breathing, I don't know how long he was breathing for, but he had fell and busted his head on the side of the van and trying to get in there. And he was breathing heavy for a couple minutes, and then I tried to do CPR, I couldn't get him.
So he stopped breathing, and where's his body at? You're doing good, okay? Just tell me where his body's at, because I got to go find him. For you, okay? This is called closure now, okay? Where's his body at? Would you take it back home with you?
No, I left it.
And you left it? So who's all in the car with you?
All of us.
James, you?
Yes, we always
Then
know
the
that
3 children.
as a family.
So all 5 of you?
Yes. Well, I left him laying in there on the ground because I was going to call the ambulance, but I was scared, shook up, didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So
now we need to figure out where this is at.
Well, the little boy was laying on the ground. I went to the bathroom, told him, you try real quick, because I couldn't hold myself. I told him, you try real quick to give him CPR. And so I went to the bathroom, I came out, he was gone.
Okay. What did the other 2 children say about all this?
Well, they were in the back seat, so they couldn't.
Okay. I'm going to give you a break here for a second, okay? Take it, relax, okay?
Gosney is nearest to the truth at this moment, and Detective Hoover is not ready to back down now. He rapidly questions her, not allowing her time to fabricate lies, and accelerating the process to elicit a confession, in a technique which can be referred to as rapid-fire questioning, or fast-paced interrogation. Although it's certain that Gosney will now cushion the truth with lies to mitigate her involvement in the crime, she cannot be given time to shell up again. Detective Hoover instead extracts as much information as he can that he'll next use to leverage James. Gosney has confirmed little James is dead, but lies about the rest. James might tell them where the body is and lie about the rest.
You guys are up, or she's up at Rush Run. She brings the body home. Does she go back up to Rush Run?
No, she does not.
Okay, this is going to help you tremendously. If I can find this and you weren't there, then if you can help me find the body, then that's going to be huge for you.
Right now, you're trying to do the right thing and help out your fiance. You're protective of her already. We've established that because you were talking about having dirty pigs over, and you don't. And that's what a man does. The man protects and helps. I'm going to call her your wife, but nobody's blaming you for you trying to help her.
Yeah. I'd help my wife. Okay, I understand that. I understand the love that you have for her. Okay, it's not what we're talking about. We really do understand that. So she brings the body home. Is it in the bedroom? And then what happens? Even if you yourself went out totally by yourself and got rid of it, I just need to know where. You're
still helping your wife.
I don't know exactly where it was, sir.
Okay, were you with her when the body was dumped?
Yes.
Okay. If we went out driving, did you take it back up to Rush Run?
We wasn't up at Rush Run, man. He's off a bridge. He's in the river.
Okay. What bridge? Middletown Bridge?
No. Cincinnati.
Down in Cincinnati?
Well, it's the bridge goes from Kentucky to Indiana.
Was that 71 bridge? Is that 71?
275.
Oh, okay.
Right. Did you bag him up or anything?
No.
So he was in his clothing? Okay. How did you get, what time of day or night is this?
This was about 3 o'clock this morning.
This morning? Okay. What did you do with the other two kids go with you then?
No, they was at home and fast asleep.
All right, so both of you guys get up. We got to do something. And then take him down to Cincinnati off 71, you're thinking?
275, yeah.
Okay, and just throw him, did you go throw him off the bridge or did you?
Throw him off the bridge.
Was it like a stream or was it the actual river?
The actual river.
The Ohio River, the big one.
Yes.
All right, but you're doing good. I know this is hard on you, all right? Look at me. I know this is hard on you.
Now I'm going to jail just for helping her. And she's trying to blame me for this. God damn what she gets involved with. I'm getting ready to spend the rest of my life in jail for nothing, man. I didn't have no part in this except for helping her.
With this, James is experiencing the prisoner's dilemma. In the context of a crime, it occurs when one member of a group or partnership confesses to the crime, causing the other to feel pressure to confess as well to avoid being perceived as the sole guilty party. This can happen because each individual wants to minimize their own punishment and maximize their chances of leniency by cooperating with authority or shifting blame onto the other party. But in this case, the police have succeeded in making James feel that he was betrayed by Gosney and has only two choices. Either he speaks his truth or takes the fall for Gosney, leading to a painful revelation. What is really twisted is that James looks more disturbed by narrating his story. He's either scared of the consequences or is displaying a guilty conscience. Both these things are dramatically absent in Gosney.
Well, James didn't want to get out of the van.
Right.
I'm talking about the kid.
Yeah.
He didn't want to get out of the van. And he was forcing me, like, you gotta get rid of the kids, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, dude, why should I have to get rid of my kids? Why can't you just go?
Sure. So he wouldn't get out of the van and what happened?
And I told him, because he had to use the bathroom too, told him I wasn't going to leave him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking about leaving him, so I kind of like pulled off a little bit, and James fell kind of down on his knees, got back, went to go get back up, and then just dropped.
Did you hit him with the van then?
No, I didn't hit him with no van.
Okay.
I didn't run him over. I didn't do none of that.
Okay. So he hits the van.
He had the van's door slides open.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a handle of the van.
So the door is open?
No, they slide back.
Right.
It's a minivan.
Right.
They slide back. He had the handle of the van, the back door van, on the driver's side. And when I went to go kind of pull off, he didn't have the handle in his hand. It was kind of just like standing there. Not close to the van, but just kind of standing there, holding the van door, trying to get back in. Well, that door is messed up.
Right.
And I don't want to unlock it, don't want to lock. So, I went to go pull off, and James, as I was saying, he fell. Yeah, there's actually a little, not a big glob of blood, but there's like this much blood, or maybe might be even more, where his head had hit the concrete, and I rolled him over, kind of try to help him back, see if I can get him to come back. Well,
did you know he was dead pretty soon though?
At first, he was still breathing. Like I said, he took a couple, like.
Where was he bleeding from?
Right here on the, right here on his head, like he went to fall down.
Was he breathing out of his ears or his mouth? And if you don't remember,
he didn't have his mouth open.
Okay.
I know he had his eyes kind of like You know how you kind of like sleep with your eyes open, like a tiny bit?
Right.
That's how he had his eyes.
Okay.
So he was like responding, but I guess couldn't talk.
Sure.
But he was breathing heavy. I don't know how many, I couldn't tell you how many breathing fast he was. But when I was with him, he was breathing still. And I was doing my CPR that I learned how to do and try to bring him back. And I couldn't. So I did it for like 5 minutes, and I knew after 5 minutes there was no getting him back.
So you carry the boy back inside. Have you already contacted James and told him what happened? Okay, by text or by call?
It was a text.
You sent him a text?
Yes, and then he called me, told me to bring him back because he couldn't get James to listen. And James had bruises on him from him hitting him. He's never hit me.
Right.
Ever. But, okay, listen.
Where were the bruises at?
Face, I want to say all over. Cover the place.
From James hitting your son? Okay.
Trying to punish him, basically.
Did he hit the other two children?
Sometimes.
Looks like she's got remnants of a black eye.
No, he's never hit her in the eye, but...
Has he ever hit her in the face or nose?
Actually, yes, because he kind of like punches them, like they lie. He kind of either punches them or smacks them in the
When was the last time he punched her? Because that looks like she's got a black eye.
I want to say like a couple of days ago.
Okay. What did she do to get in trouble for that?
Lying.
Okay.
I kept trying to tell him lying not a sin. That's their kids, that's what they do.
Right, sure.
You'll eventually catch them in the truth later on down the line.
James wanted Gosney to get rid of the kids, and she was on her way to get rid of them. She did abandon them, but little James could not let go of the handle of the minivan and tragically got caught under the wheels. However, Gosney literally cannot look remorseful to save her life. On October 5th, 2021, James Hamilton was given the maximum sentence of 19 years of prison time. Detective Tom McIntosh and Detective John Hoover received the Butler County Prosecutor's Meritorious Service Award for their marvelous detective work in a case as taxing as this. When child maltreatment takes place in a single-parent household, more often than not, there's an outsider involved. It's usually a romantic interest of the parent, who either does not feel any attachment to the children or feels like they're an unnecessary burden. Despite having raised his own children in his previous relationship, James did not like the presence of Gosney's children and subjected them to gagging with dirty underwear and keeping them locked in a wardrobe for hours. Gosney herself had tried to abandon her children multiple times in the past. She'd attempted to relieve herself of their custody but failed. In a regular attempt to discipline them, they were subjected to the threat of abandonment or were abandoned for a couple of hours. As admitted in interrogation, James and Gosney hogtied little James and threw him off the bridge, and despite several attempts, little James's body could not be recovered. On March 1st, 2021, a candlelight vigil was held in memory of little James. A large crowd of Middletown gathered to honor the boy who, in his teacher's words, could light up any room with his little presence. Environmental influences theory contends childhood trauma, abuse, neglect, or exposure to violence may contribute to the development of sociopathic traits. Do you think sociopaths are raised by sociopaths and conditioned, or is it passed down in genetic coding? Let us know your thoughts on the case in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know which case you want to see next.